Yeah! Woo! Heck yeah, baby!
Rivers gives to Sproles, angling left, has room, 15, 10, 5, jackpot! He got it! He got it! He got it!
Touchdown, Antonio Gates! 112 career touchdown catches. That's the most by an NFL tight end all time.
I would have hoped that people would have figured it out. I just like to play football.
This is Score More with Garrett Sisti.
Let's go!
Hey, and welcome everybody to another edition of Score More. Say it with me. Thank you. I am here. Probably got to say it with me before I say it, right? Kind of how that works. But hey, welcome. Score More, new home on a different day, Wednesdays. So we are going to be doing Score More on Wednesdays now. It was Tuesday. We had got a lot of feedback on our schedule and kind of moving some things around. It felt like our live Thursday show was getting missed by a lot of you because you wanted to watch Thursday Night Football. And we get that, obviously, kind of skewed on where your priorities are at. But regardless, we moved it around. So we now are doing our live roundtable, TLR roundtable on Tuesdays. Score More with me is now on Wednesdays. And that kicks Jamie's walkthrough to Thursday. So just know when you want to catch Score More, it's going to be here on Wednesdays. So our schedule is going to be TLR Roundtable, Score More, walkthrough. I got 5 on it, and then the after hours live after the shows. So you want to catch Score More, I'll be here on Wednesday. So thank you for joining me on this Wednesday edition, which will be on Wednesdays going forward. Thank you so much. So we've got a bunch of stuff to cover today. My kind of spotlight, not light, is going to kind of blend into each other. You know, everybody's talking about Quentin Johnston and his usage. Today, I just want to go through the Chiefs game and show you what Quentin Johnston does good and not so good. I know a lot of people are blaming it on Herbert and not looking Quentin Johnston's way, but I want to show you a couple things when we talk about Quentin Johnston. So I took over all his snaps, went through the all 22, wanted to show you the wide angle so you could see what Quentin Johnston's doing at the line of scrimmage, what he's doing downfield, and whether or not that affects his getting open and whether Justin Herbert should be looking his way more often. So we'll talk about that. That's a little teaser. We'll go on to a, hey man, what are you doing? We'll cover what happened in the NFL this week. And I think that's it. That's pretty much it. It's going to be a fun show, probably a quick one, but just wanted to cover some things here on Score More. So with that, your teaser, Quentin Johnston. Let's get right into it, and let me show you. So what I did is I broke down all the plays from Quentin Johnston. What I didn't include are plays in which he's part of the running game, because who cares? We're looking at him as a wide receiver. Didn't want to show clips where Quentin Johnston just wasn't being utilized. Like if Herbert's got to roll out to the other side and he's kind of a decoy on the other side, who cares about all that? What I want to show is snap straight up in which he could be a wide receiver. Obviously, he may not be the first option in that play, but he still is an option. And I want to show you exactly what's going on. So the biggest issue for me while watching this and, being able to watch these games throughout the first couple weeks now has been Quentin Johnston's issues at the line of scrimmage. And I want to show you some of that. So let's get into what he didn't do very good against Kansas City, and then we'll move on to what he did pretty good. So let's look at some of the stuff that wasn't so good. So at the line of scrimmage, Quentin Johnston, which was an issue coming out of college, isn't very physical. He doesn't have a great get off at the line of scrimmage. He's good after the catch, but he's got to catch the ball first. So first step, get off the line of scrimmage, get a free release, and get yourself some cushion so that quarterback can give you a throw into an open window. And if you're not getting any cushion and you're not getting any space off that DB, you're going to have a hard time getting the ball. So I want to show you where Quentin Johnston struggled on Sunday. And if you're Herbert looking at all these different options, do you want to throw it to Quentin Johnston on any of these routes? Let's take a look. Here's your super cut here. We're starting here at the bottom. Jam to the line of scrimmage. It's a quick throw, but still no space there. At the top of your screen now, the DB feints like he's going to jam him at the line of scrimmage, but then gets squeezed on the line of scrimmage. Herbert doesn't have much time to throw. Bottom of your screen now with Keenan Allen. As he fakes out and goes back in, Herbert's looking that way, but he gets sacked. Now, same bunch with Keenan Allen at the top of your screen. Fakes the cut inside, goes back outside. Doesn't matter. Herbert's getting sacked, but regardless, even if he's got a clean pocket, Quentin Johnston isn't open on that route. Bottom of your screen again. DB's got hands on him. Nowhere to go here. Bottom of your screen again. Pushed around a little bit. Turned around. Doesn't matter. Wouldn't have got the ball anyway. Bottom of your screen. Jammed. Locked up. Not even trying to get a release there. So as you see, Quentin Johnston still having a problem getting off the line of scrimmage. And that's a problem he had in college. And that seems to be kind of the bill on him now going forward in the NFL is get your hands on him early. And it's going to take him a little bit to get off the line of scrimmage. So corners are trying to jam him and jam him hard. So you're going to see that he uses it against the DBs in this next group of clips. And you see some good things from Quentin Johnston. But the issue right now, he's not getting open. He's not getting a free release, and he's having issues getting off the line of scrimmage. So here's some good stuff. Here's Quentin Johnston on the bottom. Looks like as soon as he cuts and drives on that drag route, he could have been open, but Herbert finds the receiver in front of him before that. Top of your screen now. Nice little release. Cut inside, little curl. Joshua Palmer threw him open. Got the big reception there. Bottom of your screen here. Hand fighting, getting past the DB who tried to jam him. They have safety help over the top, but you dump it over that corner, which we've seen Herbert do before. You've got a nice little completion there to Quentin Johnston. Good release. Bottom of your screen. DB sells out to get Quentin Johnston. Steps aside. Nice release. That's a throw you got to hit Quentin Johnston on. This throw to Keenan Allen is not working at all. You had a linebacker drop back and tip that pass, but Quentin Johnston's your man here on this route. Next up, top of your screen. Herbert elects to throw it in a double coverage here, but looked like Quentin Johnston was kind of open there on the sideline if you can hit him here. Bottom of your screen. This is his one reception. Kind of threw Quentin Johnston open there. Didn't get a great release. Pretty tight coverage, but still threw it back shoulder, underthrew him on purpose. Got the nice little catch. That was his only catch of the day. But be a Monday morning or Wednesday morning quarterback in this instance, not great to go back and say, here's what Herbert should have done instead of that. It's a lot different when you're there on the field and you don't have that all 22 angle. But when you're looking at it, there are some spots where Quentin Johnston was open and Herbert didn't hit him. I know there's been articles about him being a downfield decoy. I don't know if that's the case. On these reps, I kind of cut those out. But on the ones where he's running, we saw some good, some bad. He's just not getting separation at the line of scrimmage, and that's been his biggest issue. And you could kind of get why Herbert may not trust him right now in the offense. He's kind of getting pushed around on that Stephon Gilmore interception. Maybe that's defensive pass interference, but still getting pushed around a little bit. You saw at the line of scrimmage, he's still getting pushed around a little bit. For a big guy who isn't a speedster, he's got to get some separation off the line of scrimmage, and that's kind of his biggest issue right now. That's just not happening. You saw it in a bunch of clips. Some he was able to use it to his advantage and sidestep some of that contact. But still, when you look at Quentin Johnston's usage, he should be getting the ball more. There should be a lot more manufactured touches. They've got some for Darius Davis. They've got to do the same for Quentin Johnston. Kellen Moore's got to get the ball in Quentin Johnston's hands, build up that rapport with Justin Herbert, and get the rookie's confidence up. Because right now, when you look at the guys drafted behind him and the success they're having and the expanded roles they're getting, you've got to get Quentin Johnston involved more. So even if he isn't winning 100% of the time, which no wide receiver is, they still got to get Quentin Johnston involved in this offense. They cannot be a successful offense with just Keenan Allen and then sprinkle in some Joshua Palmer, some Gerald Everett, some Darius Davis, some Donald Parham. That isn't going to work. They've got to get a strong number two. Joshua Palmer stepped up against the Chiefs, and that's great. But there's got to be more receiving options. And Quentin Johnston cannot just be on the field as a decoy. Not when you spent that kind of draft capital on him. So I know a lot of people want to blame Herbert and not looking his way. You saw some windows where Herbert could have dropped it in the bucket to Quentin Johnston. But then again, he's not getting a successful push off the line of scrimmage like you'd hope from your first round wide receiver. So there's some good, There's some bad, but ultimately it comes down to this coaching staff. You've got to get him more touches. When you look at these Ravens games and these Vikings games, like you watched the Vikings on Monday night, I know I did, Jordan Addison got a lot of manufactured touches. I know Justin Jefferson's not in the lineup, but that's how it should be. As soon as Mike Williams was out, that's how they should have showcased Quentin Johnston. Get him more touches, get him more involved in the offense. Mike Williams is going to be out. Quentin Johnston's supposed to be Mike Williams' replacement going forward, whenever that may be. And the perfect time to do that is when Mike Williams is off the field because he got injured. But it's not happening. So, again, I get the frustration. I think some of that is on Quentin Johnston, but most of that has got to be on the coaching staff. Some of that may be on Herbert too. That's probably granted. I think that's fair. So a little bit on Quentin Johnston, a little bit on Herbert, but a lot of it on this coaching staff. Get him the ball already. So Quentin Johnston, a little bit of a highlight, not light, little mix of both. I don't know, man. I don't want to keep going through this game. So I felt like we're all wondering about QJ's usage. Let's look at it. So that's what we did. Now, moving on to the, hey, man, what are you doing? I think we were all shocked by what happened this Saturday. And that was when Michigan State decided to do a trivia question about where Adolf Hitler was born on the big screen during a college game. Hey, man, what are you doing? Out of all the people and all the trivia questions, which really feels endless, why would you include Hitler? Why? Hitler is the last person on earth you should be doing anything about anytime. I feel weird even covering this right now. And man, what unfortunate ad placement for Never Drop the Ball, Duckett Brothers Distributing. Awful time. This screenshot went everywhere, and that company's logo is right underneath it. Now, I get it. It's a trivia question. But, dude, what are you doing? Let's move on. Let's go over those games that happened this weekend, and let's look at the AFC, NFC, and AFC West. The Jags beat the Saints, and somewhere Derek Carr is still pissed. The Bears jumped on the Raiders in Tyson Bagent's first start. The Colts lose on a real tough PI call at the end of the game to give the Browns a first and goal and eventually to win it. Another bad call in the Steelers-Rams game that gave the Steelers the first down on a absolutely awful spot by the refs. The Patriots upset the Bills, and Mac Jones does the worst gritty in human existence. Here's Jonathan Allen with the best assessment of the Commanders' loss to the Giants.
They whooped our ass, plain and simple. Got to be better.
Does it get frustrating when that?
Yes, it does. I'm fucking tired of this shit. Fucking tired of this bullshit. It's been 7 years of the same shit. Tired of this shit.
The Seahawks lay the boom on the Cardinals. Jordan Love and the Packers throw one away to the Broncos. The Eagles push it past the Dolphins. And on back-to-back weeks, the 49ers got the boombox played on them and lost. So let's look at the Chargers division. Let's go AFC West first. The Chiefs are 6-1. They beat the Chargers. Raiders 3-4 after losing to the Bears. The Chargers are 2-4. That early bye hurting them a little bit in the standings. The Broncos won against the Packers, so they are 2-5 now. And let's look at the AFC. Chiefs now the sole leader in the AFC, behind the Dolphins, Raiders, and Jags at 5-2. You've got the Steelers and Browns at 4-2. Bills lost, they're 4-3. A bunch of 3-3 teams, a couple 3-4 teams. You see the Chargers there from third to last, 2-4. And the Broncos and Patriots, even though the Patriots won, at the bottom of the AFC at 2-5. NFC. Eagles won, so they now are the sole leaders in the NFC at 6-1. You've got the Lions 49ers at 5-2. You got the Falcons surprisingly at 4-3 up there. You've got the Seahawks and the Cowboys 4-2, a couple 3-3 teams, 3-4 teams, 2-4, 2-5. You got the Arizona Cardinals at 1-6. Yuck. And then the Panthers at 0-6. So that does it for me. There's your quick version of Score More. There's a quick look at QJ. Hey, man, what are you doing? Recapping the NFL. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Make sure you're subscribing everywhere. You're listening everywhere. Doing all those things you need to do to stay in touch with Lightning Round Podcast and Score More. Appreciate you. We will see you next Wednesday. And let's just hope the Chargers score more on Sunday night.